Welcome to another installment of this live stream series where I am asking the critical questions that CEOs and business leaders need to be addressing if they are going to build integrity and resilience in the face of challenges. I'm Sue Matheson, CEO Catalyst and certified integrity game coach and mentor. The question that I have for you in this session is, what are you putting off? What actions are you not taking? You know you should be, but you're just not getting there. So that's the question for tonight. To reorient where we are in the series, sorry, just give me one moment. This is the framework that I have been working through over the series of these live streams. It is a 10-point model called the Integrity Game, and it is designed to ask challenging questions that help us as business leaders to build that integrity and resilience that I talked about when I was first welcoming you to this session. We've gradually been working through the points on the model, and at the moment we are sitting with action and behavior. Now the question on the screen here is, of all the things you do, how many are things you have said you would do? Well, that's one way of asking the question, but in this session I'm actually going, I guess, the other side of the coin and asking, what are the things that you are putting off? Are there hard things that you're going, for whatever reason, I just don't want to address them, or I don't know how, and instead you're choosing to do the easier things. Excuse me. The issue is those hard things that you are putting off could be the very things that, if you chose to address them, would be what shifts the needle in your business, what makes all the difference. Now, I'm not sure if you are familiar with Stephen Covey and his book, 7 Habits. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. There is one tip that I want to share with you in this session that I know at times I found very helpful. I don't use it as often, probably, as I should. I'll confess that. I do tend to, I guess, sometimes get caught up in that busyness and of being busy rather than taking time out to address what is really important. That is where this tip can be really helpful. When we are willing to stop, take a step back, review all these things that we're caught up in doing, and really assess the value in those things that we are choosing to do. I'm sure you've seen this at some point, but I thought it might be worthwhile in this session to revisit it and have a look at something simple that you can implement immediately to move past and really start looking at the things that you are putting off that, as I said, could be making a massive difference to your organization or your business. There are 4 quadrants. There's the urgent and important. And Stephen Covey says they're the things that we should be doing. Get them done. As an example, you might be in a crisis. Things just have to happen. There's no option. There are pressing problems. There might also be deadline-driven projects. They're examples of what fits into this top quadrant to the left of being both urgent and important. The things that we should be planning fall into the top quadrant, but they're over on the other side. They're not urgent, but they're still important. And examples of these might be prevention type strategy activities. It could be relationship building, getting out and doing that networking, building relationships with our teams. It could be recognizing new opportunities, that business development work, putting strategies in place. It's about planning, whether that be at an individual level, doing some planning, getting a small team together, sitting back and reflecting and planning ahead, asking the questions, what's worked, what hasn't worked, what can we do differently? It's a time for recreation. Again, this can be at a personal level or maybe with your team. Taking time out from a team perspective to do some recreation has a multitude of benefits. It's checking in with each other, it's building relationships, it's having time to recharge. There is so much value in planning ahead and having those activities in place. If we move further down to the bottom left corner of the quadrant, we have urgent and not important. And these are activities that should be delegated. They could be meetings that don't need you actually to be there, or that someone else can coordinate them and they report back to you what the outcomes are, what the activities are. There could be interruptions or calls that come through, and you, out of habit maybe, have been taking them. And again, that's the types of calls that could be delegated now. Then it's working out a methodology to manage those Is there someone, do you have an EA or a PA that can triage those calls and divert them to someone else who can quite effectively handle them? Really ask the question, is it only you that can look after these, or can someone else take that responsibility on your behalf? And then in the bottom right corner, there is the non-urgent, not important. Get rid of them. Examples here are busy work that has no value, activities that are nice to do, but again, don't add any real value to where you're headed. They're time wasters. Now, I'm sure there's some nice activities that fall into this category. And it's finding the balance between what's nice to do and what is intentional in terms of recharging your battery or building relationships. So it's not about just eliminating all activities by any means that are nice to do. It's very much around what is the balance. At the end of the day, looking after our well-being, taking time out to recharge is incredibly important and should not be eliminated. But it's finding the right balance between those. That's one tool you can use to really help identify where are you putting your energies. Are you just getting caught up in doing the nice to do and you're not addressing the hard things? Because they're challenging. And at times they can actually be confronting. One of the hard things often revolves around relationships where we maybe need to be a bit confronting. Maybe we need to challenge a team member. Ask yourself the question, are you putting that off because you don't feel confident enough about addressing it? Maybe you don't feel you've got the skill to address it effectively. Take time out to ask yourself what is stopping you. Then circle back. Use this framework to help you work through some of what you are finding you're not wanting to address. The hard stuff. Certainly, in my own experience, where I have found this framework incredibly helpful is exactly in that space, the hard stuff. Coming back and asking myself the question, what is the purpose of this particular relationship or activity that I'm looking to undertake? Why is it important? And gradually work through the framework. What is it that I bring to the situation? By changing my perspective on it, what potential opens up? And then in the short term, what am I looking to achieve? How am I going to go about it? And if you identify that there are gaps in why you are or avoiding addressing something, take that on board for yourself and look at what are the opportunities you have to maybe learn a new skill that's going to address that fear, that unwillingness to engage in what you know is necessary, but for you is confronting for whatever reason, and so you keep putting it off. It could be that taking time out to learn that one skill is enough to help you move forward, to then quite clearly make a stronger commitment to what needs to be done. And so your actions become more aligned. You actually take action and you stop putting stuff off. It's very easy at times for us to get stuck in the paralysis of no action. And I heard recently an example of this is like a yacht sitting in the harbour, not going anywhere. The rudder can only do its job and work when the yacht is actually moving. So even if you're feeling a little unsure, you're not 100% positive that what you think you should be doing is exactly right, at least start getting into action so that your rudder, and I would suggest it's this framework, can do what it needs to do because you're actually in motion. And there's a saying that says that things in motion stay in motion. So I invite you to get past the procrastination, stop putting things off, really take time out to focus on where you are putting your energies. Are you getting caught up in busy for the sake of being busy? And use the framework to help you move through. Your decision making, your responsibilities, and use Stephen Covey's 4 quadrants. It's a simple exercise. It could be that you just choose to block out 30 minutes in your calendar and say to yourself, okay, I'm just going to address what is in front of me for now. What are the activities that I'm getting caught up in? Start somewhere. Now, it could be that you're saying, I agree with this, but I just can't see myself doing this on my own. It would be fantastic to have someone shoulder to shoulder, holding me accountable, empowering me to ask the hard questions. Now, if that's you and you really would like someone to journey with you, please reach out. My email is sue@suematheson.com.au, and I would be more than welcome to have a conversation with you. Just put in the subject line, putting things off, and I will know exactly what it is that is holding you back. or where you're at, I should say. And then we can have the conversation. What is your next step? And start building that muscle memory of action together. Be effective, take action, stop putting things off, and see your business thrive. I look forward to seeing you online again and would welcome any comments you have as you maybe come back and listen to the recording. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you online again soon. Bye for now.